Hey everyone, Camille here from 88 Fitness Training. Welcome back. Today we're continuing on with our hypertrophy showdown, and we're going to settle the age-old debate, which one is better for building a massive back, the lat pull down or pull-ups. So stay tuned, check it out. Thanks for sticking around and welcome to the 88 Fitness Training channel. Today we're going to dive into the age-old debate. Which one is better for muscle hypertrophy of the back, the lat pull down, or the pull-ups? So get ready to unlock those lats and build that big, massive back. All right, we're going to start with the lat pull down. All right, lat pull downs are a staple when it comes to back development. They're typically done with a machine that looks similar to this one. You have, a fixed bar across the top. You have selectable pins and a weight stack. See, it's pretty easy, in fact, to change the weights on the stacks. James is probably in my video. So just like that. And this is a typical bar setup. It's the most standard bar that you can have, but there's a ton of different attachments. All right, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna start in the seated position. You're gonna grab the bar. You really wanna make sure this lat pad is all the way down. So right now it's actually not. So I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna drop this a little lower. This holds you in there so you can really load up the weight. All right, and then you're just gonna initiate the movement by pulling your shoulder blades down and then focus on pulling your elbows down from there, just like this. So depress the shoulders down and then pull those elbows down, bringing the bar close to your chest. You want a nice deep stretch at the top, stretching those lats all the way out, just like this. So there's nothing more to it. It's a pretty simple setup. You have your lat pull down tower. The gyms are packed with different kinds. It doesn't really matter, but put your bar on there and load up that weight and do those lat pull downs. So pull-up equipment and setup, pretty standard. You need some type of pull-up bar. So I'm at a cable tower where the top portion has different handles attachments on it. You could be at home though and have one of those over-the-door pull-up bars. But this is primarily a body weight exercise. So you're gonna go ahead, get into position. You want a nice overhand grip because we're doing pull-ups, not chin-ups. And then you're gonna release your feet and pull yourself up, clearing your face with the bar, right? So ideally your chin wants to be above that bar. So that's the standard setup for a pull-up. Let's talk now about muscle activation and kind of what's working what when you do these. Now, when we're talking pull-ups, the prime muscle mover is going to be your lats, right? Like that's really what's pulling the body up to get your chin above the bar. But you do have other muscles that are working as well. The biceps actually play a really big part in this exercise because they really initiate that motion, right? James always tells you the biceps have two functions. They can supinate, right? And then they can bring your arm up and down. So as you initiate that pulling motion, you have to use your biceps to get yourself up. And then you have other muscles that are working as well, like your traps actually play a function in there because they're helping to move your shoulders. And then you have some smaller muscles that assist as well, like your rear delts as well as your rhomboids in the pull-ups. So in terms of back muscles, we're primarily talking about the lats, the rhomboids, and rear delts are technically shoulders, but okay. So those are the ones that are working. Now, if we compare that to the lat pull down, your lats are still playing a major role, right? Like they are the star of the show there. But it is more of a controlled, smooth movement compared to the pull-up. So they're getting a lot more stimulus. It's a little more isolation, I would say, than the body weight pull-ups. Your biceps, they're also working in the lat pull down. But in my experience and seeing my clients lift as well, it's to a lesser degree. Like they're definitely a secondary muscle mover, but a little less recruitment than when you're doing the pull-ups. And really that's just because of the position of your body and the mechanics of how it moves. And then you do have a little bit of trap activation as well, especially as you're going through the range of motion for the pull down. But again, I feel like it's a little lesser than actually doing the body weight pull-ups. So all in all, those are the muscles that are working for each exercise. Next, let's talk about load and progression between the two. All right, when you're on the lat pull down, you got that selectable pin, you got plate weights. It's really easy to load up that weight. And you can go heavier than body weight, typically, depending on how many weight plates you got on that machine. Now, if you're talking about loading up the pull-up, you got a couple options. You can maybe hold a dumbbell with your feet. You can strap weight like a belt around your waist and load up to get higher than body weight. It can be a little more difficult. You're not able to easily do it the way you can with the selectable pin. In terms of rep ranges, again, if you're doing the body weight pull-ups, I would focus on quality of rep. So I would keep it to that like 6 to 8 range. Whereas when you're over on the lat pull down, we're really focused on time under tension, muscle activation. So I would do a little higher rep range, maybe 6 to 12, where if you're hitting the 12, you're definitely bumping up that pin to the next weight, right? So both kind of have pros and cons there, but I do feel like the lat pull down's a little easier to progressively overload. In terms of program considerations, you really want to work both in. If you're more kind of focused on the strength aspect, I would definitely work a lot of pull-ups in. If you're really looking for the hypertrophy, I would do a lot more lat pull downs. All right, y'all, this brings us to the verdict. Let's settle that age-old debate. Which one is better for muscle hypertrophy, the lat pull downs or the pull-ups? All right, if you answered lat pull down, you're right, absolutely. There's a lot more targeted muscle activation on the lats in that one, and you're more easily able to progressively overload and control the weight compared to the body weight pull-ups, y'all. So definitely take that into consideration as you personalize your own personal program and try to achieve your goals. Well, there you have it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. For more like it, check out our other back videos as well as the other videos in this Hypertrophy Showdown series. And as always, hit that like and subscribe. Camille, 88 Fitness Training.